live on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jen. I'm trying to get a little bit taller here.
Hold on. We're going to adjust the camera settings so that she can
Hold on,
actually
guys.
be part of this video.
Oh, hey! Hello.
There you go.
All right. No, that's great. I'm sitting on the stool.
Yes.
So, yes.
I have to duck down a little bit.
Yes. No, you're good.
But
I'm Jen.
Welcome to our show, Mile Markers and Milestones. This is our weekly live streaming where we bring to you kind of the updates behind the scenes, what we're building, what we're excited about, and the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, you're going to get it all because we are building this journey with you.
Yes. So let's see.
So biggest takeaways for the last 7 days.
There was a lot. There was a lot happening. The last episode, we told you about, hey, what are we going to do and what are we not going to do? Well, we went through a schedule. We cut back everything that we're not going to do, and I think it really worked out for us. We focused on the systems that were actually working, and we're getting the automation in, at least on my end. I'm getting the automation in so that we can put that on autopilot, so to speak, and then continue to build more and bring more value. So yes, a little kid has come.
Yes, little kids come. Nope.
Nope.
Go.
Bye. Love you. Peace out.
When you have 5 kids, they come when they want.
Of course. It always happens when we're...
Well, always happens when we're on the live stream.
Yes.
So, yeah, but some really great developments on our side. We onboarded 2 brand new clients this last week.
Thank God.
Which we are super excited about. We're very blessed to be able to do the thing that we love to do and do it with people that we actually enjoy building businesses with. So that was huge for us to be able to share that with you guys. Really excited about it. And it came after we decided what we weren't going to do.
Yes.
And to piggyback off the idea that you just said, when we actually got really clear on what we wanted to do and what we were not going to do, and that we're going to scale back this, we're going to focus on the areas that make the most sense, all of a sudden we landed 2 new clients. And it was like, oh wow.
It was interesting. Well, I think it was also providential too.
Yeah, providence plays a huge part in everything, but you have to be the right person at the right time. You know, if you're not ready to receive, then it doesn't matter, you know, what it is. It's like it's going to pass you by because you're not the right person for it. So when we started to get really serious and you know, looking after our own book and going through our own modeling of how we build other people's businesses with them, we found that we needed to take a look at ourselves and do the same audit on ourselves. And right after we did that, we landed 2 great clients. So it's evidence everything is working as it should, which is super exciting.
Yes, definitely. And on my end, the content creation, I think I was posting, I don't even know, like 60 pieces across the social platforms a day, scheduling them out and everything, but just making content, you know, for the sake of just trying to get analytics and see what was working and what was not working. I think that was a very important part that I had to actually do to actually figure out what is working and what we can actually not do. And yesterday, it was a huge unlock with YouTube, you know, kind of helped me set up an automatic workflow to schedule out posts and see which one's working and what's not working. So hopefully it's going to get a little bit better experience for you all on YouTube. LinkedIn is kind of hard. We still do everything manually on LinkedIn, but we pare down what we're actually posting on LinkedIn. Just trying to gauge to see what our audience likes and to give them more of that.
Yes.
You know.
So we're not trying to go volume on LinkedIn. We're trying to give our audience what they want from us, so that and being true to ourselves too. It's not like we're trying to be somebody that we're not, but we want to bring the audience what it is that we are best at. What we're best at and what we're about and what the audience wants to hear. And that's how we're kind of rearranging our priority on posting and content scheduling. So that's been a huge kind of relief, actually.
Because I'm not posting I'm not editing videos.
We were doing a ton of motion, like recording videos, writing
even
content.
With AI, it was a ton.
Yeah, we were spent the vast majority of our time on creating content, and it felt stressful, and it felt like it wasn't actually moving the needle, and because it wasn't. So that's why we went through that whole exercise last week was, what can we cut from our life, what's working, what's not working.
Yes.
Let's double down on what's working, and let's just get rid of what's not, and it actually makes for a better experience. So, and
Life.
with much better life experience. And the proof is in the pudding, right? We landed 2 new clients.
Yes.
So I want to read to you a section here, because the other big update is this book, right? So this book is still coming along, and for those that have written a book, you understand my pain. For those of you who haven't, I'll give you just a little glimpse behind the curtain. It is super hard to actually write a book, because for me, I don't want to just write a book and like, here's the framework. You know, you could get that's a checklist, right? That's not why you read a book. You read a book to enjoy it and to go through the experience of it. And a big part of that is sharing my life story, and how it relates to what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of one of these it's a weird blend of storytelling that teaches concepts. And so that's what I'm going back over my whole manuscript, and I'm trying to look, okay, where can I actually make this a logical story, or the sequential story of my life, and share bits of my life that are unique to me, that communicate my messaging so that it relates to you guys as the audience. So let me know in the comments if you like this bit right here. So this is I started writing crew. I'm on the crew section today. Here's my intro paragraph. Tell me if you guys like this, or if you're like, no, this sounds terrible, I'd never read this book. So the chapter 5, crew, the operating shape mature organizations run on. My jaw dropped just a little as I bent my neck, staring out the window of the Norfolk taxi cab. My sea partner and I were pulling up to our first commercial ship. It was a massive container ship, its sides painted black, with the occasional orange streaks of rust dripping down like cave formations. I was 19 years old, just finished my first year at the academy. I felt accomplished, and to be honest, a little cocky when I left the plane from New York. But now pulling up to this steel behemoth, I felt like an ant standing next to a grown man's boot. My sea partner and I, still slightly feeling the Halloween festivities from the night before, slowly crawled out of the car, grabbed our overpacked sea bags, and made our way up the gangway. It was the start of what would be my life at sea. So let me know if you guys like this type of storytelling, because I feel like I get really excited about it, because I feel like this is authentically me. Because I really actually do enjoy writing. I always have enjoyed writing. It's I don't know why. It's one of those crazy things about me, but I like to communicate. I like storytelling. And I've never thought I've been very good at it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hypercritical of myself.
He is.
So let me know in the comments if you like that style, because I feel like this is very much me and who I am, but I want to know what you guys think. Right? These are my words. These are not AI. AI has helped me write this book. I'm going to be totally honest. AI has helped me, but it's helped me from a content inclusion partner, as a thought partner, and as a transcribing partner, not as an idea origination partner, right? I'll be very clear on that. AI did not give me this formula. It did not give me this framework. These are all my original thoughts, but AI has helped me gather data, intelligence, English structured, and to make sure that we're putting it together in the right way with the right supporting evidence that are external sources, right? So it's helping me do a lot of that research part of it, which is what I lean it heavily on. So all was cited sources, by the way. None of it's made up. I always make sure none of this stuff is made up, because we all know that AI can hallucinate from time to time.
Yes.
So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of that, because I'm running with it, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Yes, I liked it.
Yeah. So big thing on the family side. After this book is done, we're trying to shoot for the next week or two to kind of wrap up writing this book, and then we are really excited to start looking about how our next major road trip.
Yes, road schooling up and down the East Coast, and prepping the year for American history, learning along, I guess, on the road. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I haven't even planned anything. I planned out the school year, so yeah, we'll figure that one out when that comes. But yeah, still in the planning mode. I don't know where we're gonna go, But obviously we can't tell you, like, at the time for security reasons, so.
She makes sure that she's my security protocol officer.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So chief security
Can't be
officer
safe.
right here.
Even though we're like nobodies, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So one thing that I really love, I love history. I love to read history for sure. Why are you laughing?
Historical narratives. That's what those big books, historical narratives, that's what he took out to sea with him. He was like devouring them. We got George Washington by Dave McCullough or something like that. Historical narratives for me, I'm like, oh, I like mystery and sci-fi. I love our nation's history, but
thank you for poo-pooing on me.
No, I'm not. You asked why I laughed.
Yeah, that's true. I did ask for it. So, but no, one of the things in my research of writing this book that I reviewed was actually the history of the Titanic. And it was interesting to read that because as I'm researching it, one of the things that stands out to this day, we all, a lot of us, especially us millennials, remember when the movie came out in 1999, right? If you remember 1999, congratulations, you are now considered old. And so we remember this story, and of course they had this very dramatic scenes, right? Everything is very dramatized, and they took some creative liberties. But the truth of the matter is, to this day, the major failure of the Titanic and what happened wasn't actually considered a single point of failure. It was actually a system failure, which I thought was really interesting because it plays in and ties very well into what we're trying to talk about, which is systems failures. Why do systems break down? It wasn't one decision that caused everything to collapse, right?
Yeah.
Social media, Instagram, YouTube, all the clickbait stuff, everything is designed to make you think you're missing one thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Let me know in the comments if you have felt like this. Like, everybody in advertising makes you feel like there's only one thing that's missing.
You can unlock it, and
you
then
can
you get
unlock
to the next
the
level.
one thing, and then everything's gonna be fine, right? As long as you get this one thing right.
Just that one.
And I'm here to tell you, I think that's baloney.
It's great marketing.
It's great marketing, but it's bad truth. It's bad operating principle. Because what the Titanic found and discovered how many people for the last 100 years plus have analyzed the Titanic and
we studied it in school, case studies.
People still studying it today. And this is still a cautionary tale that people need to remember, is that each decision in and of itself weren't actually bad decisions. And most of them actually probably weren't even wrong decisions. Mm-hmm. But they were made with limited scope. And they were made with
what is limited scope
under
for our audience?
Yeah, a limited scope means a limited point of view. Like, they didn't have the whole picture. They made a series of what seemed at the time logical decisions, but it added up to a system failure.
Yeah.
The system wasn't designed correctly, and it allowed for all of the errors to take place, which compounded on itself and then eventually led to the Titanic sinking in the North Atlantic, right? Fun fact, everybody thinks, oh, well, Captain Smith, he just steamrolled, he was trying to get there, he sped up, and it's like he didn't care about the icebergs. It's like, actually, no. He was a seasoned captain, and he actually did bring the route farther south and made a very good and practical decision, but brought it farther south to make sure that regular iceberg patterns were being taken into consideration when he made his crossing. When he designed that passage across the Atlantic Ocean, he actually erred on the side of caution. But what happened is that the icebergs were coming unusually farther south. There was a one-off or an unusual amount of southerly drifting icebergs. So it was something that was out of the ordinary, and a lot of the systems that were in place to warn captains and seafarers about those unusual conditions, those again, they didn't get passed. Information didn't flow. It was a whole communications breakdown. But looking at each of the decisions individually, they were all very logical decisions and made within the context of the operating systems of the day. And so that's why looking at the whole picture, you
Yeah.
can see the system is what matters. And you nail the system, you can nail your operations. That's what's important, right? And that's what the Titanic can really teach us. That story of the Titanic that I was reviewing as I'm getting material for my book and stuff. That's the stuff that really makes a difference, is when you can see the operating system as the actual thing that unlocks potential. Because it's not one thing.
No.
It's everything. Like, operating systems is not one thing. It's everything. I love this quote. I think I heard it from Hormozy. I'm not sure if he got it from somebody else, but it's 1,000 golden BBs. There's never one silver bullet. It's 1,000 golden BBs, right? That is the mentality. Everybody's looking for the quick fix or the one quick shot that's just gonna, oh, boom, that's it. Now we're going, and it usually is not that simple. So that was a big thing that I took away, and like, yes, this is the message that we're trying to communicate, and that we're trying to do this as clear as we can.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's interesting. Is that stuff in there?
Yeah, that was a fly.
It's interesting, too, because when you look to kind of form your team for operations, you kind of have to have those people who can look at the big system, and then you have those people who actually look at the smaller systems, too. So you need both, I guess, the visionaries, and you also need the, I guess, integrators.
Yeah.
Or the doers, you know. So it's very interesting when you build your team to have both of those people in play. So that's the thought I got out of it too, because you have the captain, looking at the whole plan, but you also have to train and hire the people who are looking at, the day-to-day of like, oh, the lookout. Oh, do I see any icebergs? You have, everybody plays an important part in the operating system together.
Yep. So this is something that is like, this is what's near and dear to our heart, and as we want to communicate this to you. So let us know in the comments if you're liking this. If you're liking this type of freestyle, if you're liking this type of relationship building. If you're tired of AI slop and reading the same, you feel like you're reading the same person and it's off of the 15th different profile that you've seen a post on today.
Yeah.
And you're like tired of reading that. Hey, you can
We
come,
are too.
We're tired of reading those same posts too with the same style and knowing knowing that they're actually, how much effort are they really put into this? So
yeah. Well, I don't know if it's I guess it's of effort, or maybe they just don't. Maybe they don't think about it. Maybe it's not the original idea.
Yeah.
So
whenever I see it, I'm like, did they really think of this, or is AI making them sound smarter than they actually are? I always think that. I don't know if that's you, but that's definitely me. When I see that, and that's, again, I use AI a lot. I use it a lot for creating content, but do I allow it to give me my thought, my original thought?
No.
Never. Never,
no.
never, never. Because that, if I allow AI to give me the original thought, then you guys, I'm not providing you any real value. You could just get it from AI. So
that is true, because information is no longer like a secret. There's no longer a gatekeeper for the information, from the information. Everything's out online.
Yes.
You just have to know where to look for it.
Oh, this was something too that I wanted to share with you guys and see if you guys are thinking the same way or if I'm totally off base here. But I was talking with somebody the other day, and they were all excited about this using this big influencer. I won't say his name, but the big influencers like operating system, or like they have their profile, right? You sign up, you pay the money into their portal, and they've got all these different little things to help you organize and data dump, and so that it helps spit out their system with your data. So,
which was interesting.
It's an interesting concept, and I can understand why it makes sense to a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, because I think visionaries tend to be very chaotic in thought.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm living with one right here. He's got to be trained. You trained your mind. It's like a mental exercise that you have to.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. He's a visionary.
I'm this weird hybrid of visionary and executor, and it's weird.
Yeah. No, but it's good. It plays to your strengths.
But but going back to the story, so they bought the subscription and they're using it. They're building all this stuff. Obviously for the big influencer, it's a very sticky subscription because they're going to spend all this hours pouring into the system. Of course, they're going to renew, right?
Yeah.
So from a business perspective, I totally get it. Like, it makes 100% sense. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if I'm a little bit jealous that I don't have something like that, where I can sell to the mass market and be like, yes, just buy my system and data dump all your information. Make my knowledge base bigger and bigger and bigger so that I get smarter, and then you get some value, but I get all the value, So
right.
That's where I'm just kind of like, okay, that makes some sense from a business perspective from the influencer. But then I'm looking at the owner, right? The business owner who's using the subscription service. And I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, man, why? Why spend all that extra money? Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, there's this nice user interface where you could click a button and then put that information over here. Click a button, put this information over here. But guess what, guys? With Claude Code, you can literally build anything.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally tell it, this is what I want to do. I need a clear file structure. I need a clear user interface. I need a clear command structure, because here is my end state. I'm looking to build it with this level of knowledge. I want it to have my thoughts. I want it to sound like me. I want it to blah, 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 blah. Whatever you need it, whatever the thing is that you're building, you can literally spit that into Claude and go back and forth on architecture first, and it's going to build you a system that you actually own. For that $100 a month, we pay the $100 a month for the Claude Code to have the max plan. Great.
Is that
by the way.
even a max plan?
It's the max plan. There's an enterprise value plan for those.
Oh, that's not us.
Yeah, for the bigger guys. Not us yet. One day.
One day.
But
pretty rich.
Yeah. So, but that's where it's at right now. It's like there's literally anything is possible.
Well, I think,
and you don't actually need to buy all these other people's subscriptions.
So I for that owner who's doing that right now, I think this person needs to have a structure to their thoughts. Again, the visionary. So this person is using this to kind of structure their thoughts a little bit, and maybe it's just AI naivety, maybe not at that point. But we tend to be people who have our own thought and our own way of doing things. I don't know. I think our just knowledge and how we approach problems and how we build, because we're builders at heart, I think it's different than a lot of other people. And some people need those structure in order to build awesome, things, put whatever's in their thoughts down into a working system. But I don't think that's the case for us.
Yeah. Oh, here's an example, right? So I was reviewing our financial spreadsheet. So for the last, call it 8 months, we've been very, very diligent. Every weekend, we look at our finances, we look at the bank accounts, we log
meeting.
We do our founders meeting, we have our transactions, we log everything, and we put it into a spreadsheet that we had built. And honestly, I wasn't very excited about it. I was like, you know what, this is kind of half-assed. I think we could do this a little bit better. And
of course.
Because it was a little bit complicated, because we had a lot of different input sections and we had to keep making new tabs with each month. So I really didn't like the way it was structured. I wanted a little bit more simplicity. So I threw it into Claude Code, and I went freaking 13 rounds with the robot, and what I came up with is
it's a behemoth.
It's a behemoth of a spreadsheet. It's got probably over 5,000 different formulas that are programmed into the spreadsheet, but it's very simple, because all I have to do is I have my main data source where I input everything once, and that's about the company and the personnel and like the whole detail about the structure, operating structure. And then I have our regular subscriptions going in and out. So if we have a regular recurring payment, that gets logged as for forward future projections. But it also, if we get MRR, when we sign on clients that have MRR and they're paying us a monthly retainer fee, that also gets added into that commitments tab, so that I can project, and it makes for me those forward-looking projections of cash flow in and expenses out. But then the last tab that we have to input thing is then it's just ledger. It's just a regular daily ledger of every transaction going in and out in our banks and our credit cards, so that everything is super clear and that everything automatically gets parsed out to 28 different tabs that chops up this information in all kinds of different ways.
Again, a behemoth.
It gives us our financial daily snapshot, cash on hand, runways. It gives us
I appreciate the monthly runway.
Gives us a monthly runway. It gives us a trends. It gives us a monthly trend data.
I like the graphs.
It gives us graphs. It gives us 3-year analytics. It gives us KGAR. It gives us our taxable liabilities, right?
Yeah.
Both federal employment tax, sales tax. It gives us what our quarterly tax withholdings we should be putting aside every month to make sure that we're going to cover, so there's no surprises. That's one of the biggest surprises that catches business owners off guard, is an unexpected tax bill. This sheet that I made absolutely takes care of that for us, so there's no more surprises. I don't have to wonder what's going to happen. All we have to do is keep it up. And if we wanted to, we can keep it up daily, but we're going to continue with keeping it up on a weekly basis, so that week over week we can see what the trends are, we can see the data, we can see the cash flow, and we have an updated, up-to-date information source so that we can make strong financial decisions. One of the things that came out of it was, one, I already had we had a line of credit that was there, and it really, once I saw the data, I saw liquidity. We saw what was in our bank account and what we had access to, and on a financial statement, now we actually have, we had a line of credit. I was like, oh, we're actually a lot more liquid, and the cost of this capital is this much. I wonder if I can get another line of credit and keep adding to our liquidity basis. Just, not that we need it or we're going to use it, but just the fact that I can add to my liquidity on that column makes us a stronger financial institution. And so I did. I went out and I found another line of credit, put it on there. I'm like, oh yeah, look at that. Right away, within minutes. It was one of those things that was in minutes. I just did a quick apply, and it was like, yeah, you're approved for X amount of dollars, and perfect. I've already got it. I've got another line of credit, added it onto the debt tab, and we have a it's, again, I'm not paying for it because I'm not actually drawing on it, but it makes the financial statement more robust, more clear, and it's giving me real-time information about how much liquidity I actually have at any given moment. And I'm telling you, like, this level of financial discipline is missing in most small businesses.
Yeah, what I really appreciate is the subscriptions. So he put all the subscriptions on one tab, did it over a month, when they come out, and then over a year, I'm like, holy moly, why are we spending thousands of dollars on this subscription?
Exactly.
Like, we just, 2 subscriptions gone already. I'm like, we don't need this. There's no reason why it's not again, what are we going to keep and what are we going to take away? What are we going to cut off? I'm like, this brings us no value, and we haven't seen the return from it. Let's exit this subscription. And then other subscriptions, I'm like, I wonder right now with the new rates, I wonder if we can, lower monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Why not?
But it gave us a very clear picture, so that if we wanted to do it monthly, we could do it monthly, but at very least we can do it quarterly and review every subscription.
Yes.
But then it ranks, the different tab ranks each subscription by how much it's costing us. So exactly the top ranking subscriptions.
And there's colors to it.
There's color coded. I'm telling you, I'm like, holy smokes, this is a huge unlock. This alone is worth what people will usually charge $15,000-$20,000 audit for. What we just built alone is worth $15,000-$20,000. So, and that's just one thing, but we did it at a necessity for ourselves. And I find that that's one of the best things that you actually have to offer to people, is if you build something for yourself, well, there's a good chance that other people need it. Yeah. So let me know in the comments if you think that that's worth exploring. I'd love to have that conversation with you. So with that, we have reached our half-hour marker. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode, and
we'll
stay tuned.
Week.
We'll see you next week.
Yes. All right, see ya.